மதராசப்பட்டினம் சென்னையாக இருக்கிறத மதராசப்பட்டினமாக எப்படி இருந்திருக்கும்னு காட்டின திரு நீரவ் ஷா அவர்கள் இப்பொழுது வந்துட்டு ஒரு சின்ன உரையாற்றுவார்கள்.
Because I didn't get lunch yesterday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you everybody for coming. After I saw the film, I thought every cameraman who's not working now, who's working now, and everybody who's going to become a cameraman should see this film. Because I think it encapsulates the entire journey from the time you start off as an assistant to the end of your career. And it was very, very, very moving for me. I cried while watching the film at the first time. And I thought I should give you all that experience. I'll let Hemant take over.
I'll start with asking everyone if they have any questions as such. Yours I will answer in a moment.
Yes.
But are there any questions here? So I'll say one thing. Interestingly, each of these people in the film were accidental cinematographers. No one actually chose to be a cinematographer. It's just the manner in which their lives proceeded and the circumstances that happened which led them to become cinematographers. I was telling Nirav yesterday about this conversation I had with a Malaysian director friend of mine. He has nothing to do with cinematography, he has nothing to do with the Bombay film industry or the Indian film industry in any way. But he saw the film and made one very interesting comment which I must share with you. Based on what you said just now. He said that in Malaysia there is a concept, an emotional concept, which they spell A-N-G-I-N. I don't know how it's pronounced, I assume it's Angin. Angin refers to a wind that stirs inside you, unknowingly and unconsciously, the day you start doing something that you're intended to do for the rest of your life. It is a certain energy that gets produced in your psyche, in your system, where unwittingly you have found the pot of gold that is going to be your life for the rest of your existence. And I think each of them has spoken about how there is that moment which is a tipping point, when from an accidental, circumstantial profession, it suddenly becomes the reason for which they live. And I think that is fascinating. I was also an accidental cameraman. I had no intention of being a cinematographer. It was purely, I look back, it was 1985 when this happened. It's almost, 40 years? Yeah, so 40 years ago that I just stumbled into this profession and like what Mr. Bhatt says at the end, if you don't like what you're doing, don't do it. Unfortunately, in 2015, I think I reached a point where I didn't enjoy it anymore. And instead of being untrue to my work and not have the passion for it, I decided to step away. And this is why I made the film, looking at my own journey as a cinematographer, from all the accidents and the people that have come my way and taught me. I'm a self-taught cinematographer. I ended up not working with anyone. And I was telling, before we came to the auditorium, when we were sitting in the other room, I was telling them that when I shot a film called Company by Ram Gopal Verma, I had been a television cameraman for the previous more than a decade, and I had never worked on 35mm before. And I was used to digibeta cameras, which are, you press a button, a light glows, and nothing happens. There's a viewfinder, which is an LCD running at 50 hertz and 25 frames per second. So the first shot I took when I rolled the camera, it was a close-up of Vivek Oberoi, I remember. Suddenly there's this shutter in my viewfinder, there's the sound of the magazine. I actually, for a moment, had a panic. I said, I don't know what's going on. Something, I thought this machine is going to explode in my head. And then I hit myself and said, come on now, grow up. Life is getting serious now, so concentrate. And that's how Company began. So, any questions, anyone? Yes, sir.
நான் 1972 இன்னி வரைக்கும் ஒரு 52 வருஷமாக அந்த லைனில் இருக்கேன். ரியலி யூர் டன் ஏ கிரேட் ஜாப். உண்மையாக என்ன வார்த்தை சொல்லி பாராட்டுறதுன்னு எனக்கு வார்த்தைகள் இல்லை. அதோட உங்களை கையெடுத்து கும்பிட்டுடுறேன். என்ன விஷயம்னா, என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் பயனுள்ள ஒரு நேரமாக செலவழித்ததில் இது ரொம்ப முக்கியமாக நான் கருதுகிறேன். பிகாஸ் இங்கே நிறைய பேர் அந்த டாக்குமெண்ட்ரியை பார்த்துட்டு நிறைய சிரித்தோம். அதே டைம் சில கேமராமேன்கள் பேசும்போது எங்களை அறியாமல் கொஞ்சம் கண்ணீரும் கூட வந்தது. காரணம் அவங்க சொன்ன சில விஷயங்கள். இவ்வளோ தூரம் பண்ணிவிட்டு இன்னமும் அந்த சினி ஃபீல்ட்லேயே தங்களை அர்ப்பணிச்சுக்கிட்டு இன்னும் சிரமப்பட்டாலும் நாங்கள் இந்த லைனில் தான் இருப்போம்னு சொன்ன அந்த வார்த்தைகள்லாம் உண்மையாக அந்த சீனியர்ன்ற முறையில் எனக்கு ஒரு ஆட்டோகிராஃப் மாதிரி என்னுடைய லைஃப்லேயும் அதெல்லாம் சந்தித்ததுனால உண்மையாக நிறைய ஆண்கள் அழுவது வந்து கண்ணீர் விடுவதுன்றது ஒரு ஆண்மைக்கு இழுக்குன்னு இருந்தால் கூட என்ன அறியாமல் என் கண்லேயும் கொஞ்சம் கண்ணீர் வந்தது. உண்மையாக பாராட்டக்கூடியது சார். என்கிட்ட இருக்கிற உங்களை எப்படி, அதாவது எனக்கு உள்ள ஒரே ஒரு சின்ன கொஸ்டின், மே ஆஸ்க் தட் ஸ்மால் கொஸ்டின், நீங்கள் அதுக்கு சொன்னால் போதும். நிறைய இந்த குறும்படங்கள் நிறைய போய் பார்த்துருக்கேன், நானும் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். நிறைய கான்செப்டெல்லாம் இருக்கும்போது உங்களுக்கு எப்படி இந்த ஒரு ஐடியா இது இதை எடுக்கணுன்ற இந்த ஒரு உண்மையான சிறப்பான ஐடியா எப்படி வந்தது? அதுக்கு ஏதேனும் காரணம் நீங்கள் அதை சொன்னீங்கன்னா எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் உதவிகரமாக இருக்கும். உண்மையாலுமே பாராட்டக்கூடிய மிகப்பெரிய இது சார். அதாவது அதான் நான் ஆரம்பத்தில் சொன்ன மாதிரி வார்த்தைகள் இல்லை, உண்மையாலுமே அருமையான இதெல்லாம் வந்து எங்களுக்கு காண கிடைக்காத ஒரு காட்சி. அருமையான அற்புதமாக அதை எங்களுக்கு இந்த நியாயமாக சீக்காவே தயாரித்து இதை செய்ய வேண்டிய வேலையை நீங்கள் செஞ்சு கொடுத்து சீக்கா மூலியமாக இதை எங்கள் பார்க்கறதுக்கான இந்த அருமையான நாட்களை ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுத்த உங்களுக்கும் சீக்காவுக்கும் மீண்டும் என்னுடைய மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை சொல்லிக்கிறேன். இந்த இது மட்டும் சொன்னீங்கன்னா போதும் சார். அதாவது எத்தனையோ இது இருக்குது ஷார்ட் ஃபிலிம் பண்ணுறதுக்கு, பட்டு இப்படி ஒரு நம்ம இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த லைனில் கேமராமேன்களை பற்றி எடுத்து இந்த சினிமா உலகம் எவ்வளோ அர்ப்பணிப்பு பண்ணியிருக்கு கேமராமேனுங்கள் அப்படின்றத எடுத்து சிறப்பு பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. இந்த எண்ணம் உங்களுக்கு எப்படி ஏற்பட்டதுன்றது மட்டும் எனக்கு தெரிவித்தா போதும் சார், ப்ளீஸ்.
Number one, no one has ever made a film on cinematographers before. B, in the last 3 or 4 years of my career, I saw that work was becoming much, much less. And I couldn't explain why, because I've worked very honestly, very passionately with, all my commitment all my life. And I was watching the industry in Bombay fall apart in terms of dishonesty. I was seeing, I chose, this is very honest, Danny is sitting there, he knows the whole story very, very well because he worked with me for a few years. I found it unacceptable for me to be good at my work and have to wait endless amounts of time for my next job. And you only then take on the job because it is an offer made to you, not because you're excited to do the job. I chose to not be in that state of mind and walk away from the film industry. And I decided to answer all my questions about my career through these people. Now, while none of them took me as an assistant in between 1985 and 1989, once my film started releasing, they all started being appreciative. And of course, no one remembers, as all seniors will remember, no one remembers all the boys who have come to them and have been not taken as assistants. Okay? But over the years, they all became friends. As you can see, the comfort level between them and myself, because they all know me very well and they all interact with me very nicely. I'll sum it up in one very simple statement that Mr. Govind Nehlani, who is in the film, when he saw the film, he called me and he said, "Hemant, this film is 35 years too late. I am glad it finally got made. I am glad it got made by someone like you. And I am glad that you made it in the manner that you've made it. Because finally someone has given our fraternity some dignity. Because in the Bombay industry, no one really cares. And I know how much cinematographers are respected in the South. And I am very aware how they are not respected in the West, in Western India. So this was just a way of, of these 14 people, only one of them has ever been interviewed in front of a camera before. Again, that is Govind Nehlani, and he's been interviewed as a director, never as a cameraman. So all these 14 people are talking about their lives for the first time. And I just felt I owed it to my business. And like Jahangir Chaudhary in the film says that when I asked him why people are forgotten, so he says it depends on your character, If you can value and respect the people before you, then they will remain respected and valued. If you choose to forget them, they remain forgotten. I've been trying to encourage my sound engineer friends, my advertising director friends to make films about their, people as well. But you need to feel it from the inside. Unless you feel it from the inside, you'll never make it. So it was just a way of bringing these people into the limelight, and a cameraman always finds it very scary when a camera points at them. And fortunately, they trusted me enough to sit. Govind Nihalani's interview is almost 3 hours, 15 minutes long, the complete interview. I think between 1.5 and 3 hours, 15 minutes is the average time for each of them. Also, I find that there's a certain arrogance amongst the younger generation. No disrespect to anyone, I'll tell you why. Because the camera does so much for you, I find a lot of skill sets are being lost. I remember when the first time I had to light on 200 ASA tungsten film, I had to light a candle effect and shoot at 2.8 on a CinemaScope lens. And the amount of apparatus we have used to create that flicker and to create the source of light. Because if you have a candle in front of you, the source of light can't be from there. And today you are probably using ND filters to cut down, when your camera gives you 1,28,000 ASA, life has become so much easier. In the interviews, I've made a lot of questions about the technique and technology and approaches, etc. But when I was making the film, I realized that there's a certain entire generation that will not relate to it. So while watching the rushes, I realized that the only way to make this film is as a human journey, because that will connect to everyone. And the more I spoke to these people, and because I've bridged that gap between celluloid and digital, you realize that. And I say this to young people now, I said don't, because they've done one short film and they think it's the most brilliant thing in the world. I said people have done it before you for 100 years, and they've done it in more difficult circumstances with, more difficult technology. I mean, I used to be fascinated by something like the ARRI 2C and people who've taken low angle shots on tracks and trolleys. Your neck comes off, it's not easy, but they've done it. Today you're standing there with a monitor, on a gimbal, and you're busy, taking, shots at any angle. Be respectful of the people who went before you, and nothing you do is going to be pioneering. Just remember that. People have done it. There's people here who've done it, long before all of us. And so this was just a way of giving you, I'll give you a little small example. There's a credit in the film to a girl called Dhavalika Singh. She worked with me for about 4 or 5 years. Now she's a very successful cinematographer in Bombay. She was trying to get admission into some European film schools while we were shooting this film, and she got rejection letters from all of them. So she was kind of slightly depressed through the process. She wanted to learn, she wanted to go further, and cut to several years later, I finally finished the film and I send her a link to watch it on Vimeo. She calls me and says, sir, I'm going to watch it sitting next to you. I don't want to watch it on a monitor alone. So we have an organization called the Cinematographers Combine. And they organized this screening at Yashraj Studios in Bombay. It was very much like this screening where we had 120 people, of which I think 95 were cinematographers from the age group of 20 to 88. And then there were directors, actors, etc., etc., etc. My core group and I went out for dinner after the screening. At some point I see Dhavalika standing in front of me and she's got tears. So I said, okay, now what have I done? How have I, what have I done to get her crying again? So she says, sir, if you remember, I was trying to get into those film schools while we were shooting the film. And I was feeling very depressed in those days. She said, today, 6 years after, or 5 years after, 6 years after we shot the film, I realized that sitting with these 14 people for the interviews was the greatest film school I could have ever been to. And she said, now watching the film, it connects back to the time that I was, an assistant on this project. And subliminally, I have incorporated so much of what they said into my behavior, into my approach, into my relationships on set, that I don't need to go to a film school ever again. And like Govindji says that another friend, very senior advertising director in Bombay, He said one of the things the film is about, which a lot of people won't realize, is the Guru Shishya Parampara that once existed, where people worked for several years, like Sir just said, how many years he worked as an assistant, as a focus puller, laying cables. That whole era has gone, And I think it's the fault of the technology that allows you to, the moment you buy a camera, you're a director of photography. It's as simple as that. You have a camera in your hand, you're a cameraman. Mr. Nadeem Khan, I wish he would get well, and I asked him this question during the interview. I said, so what is, how do you deal with digital technology? And please excuse my language, but I'm quoting him exactly the way, and we're all adults here and all cinematographers, so he says, "Venchod, मैंने ना गान बना के DOP का खिताब हासिल किया." It means I've screwed my ass to achieve the title of director of photography. Today it's one director of photography per digital camera sold. It's as simple as that. And he said, you have to keep it in the film. I said, oh, no, I'm not going to keep it in the film. As it is, the censor board, screwed me over 2 words. Stupid people. But I don't know whether that answered your question, but it's me being respectful to the people who came before me. I wish I had worked with as an assistant to some of them, as I've tried, because maybe I would have been a better cameraman. Maybe I would have been a better human being, but it wasn't meant to be, so it didn't happen. But as an untrained cameraman, you'd end up working much harder because you have to point to prove. And that's what I did.
Sir, once again, I would like to say thanks, and you've done a great job.
Thank you, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया काम किया है.
Thank you, sir.
Really, I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Please.
Thank you.
Once again, we all.
He's a senior, one of the senior member of our SICA, Mr. Jambu.
நான் 67 வந்துட்டேன். அப்போல்லாம் சவுண்ட்லையும் வேலை செய்யணும், எல்லா கேமராலையும் வேலை செய்யணும், எல்லாத்தையும் வேலை செய்யணும். இப்போ அது சார் சொன்னார் பாருங்க, அதே பீரியட் தான். நான் 67 வந்தேன். அப்போ பாருங்கள் 56 வருஷமாக வேலை செய்கிறேன், இந்த ஃபீல்டில் இருக்கேன். கேமராவில் தான் இருக்கப்ப கேமராமேனாக இருக்கேன். இருந்தாலும் என்ன கேட்டிங்கன்னா, நீங்கள் எடுத்தது இதை அந்த காலத்துலேயும் அவங்க பேசப்பட்டாங்க, இப்பயும் பேசுகிறாங்க, மறுபடியும் பேசுவாங்க. ஏன்னா நீங்கள் எடுத்து வச்சுருங்க பார்த்தீங்களா, இது ஒரு பொக்கிஷம். இனிமேல் யாரும் செய்கிறதுக்கு யாருமே இல்லை. அதை நீங்கள் செஞ்சதுக்கு நான் எல்லா சார்பையும் உங்களுக்கு வணங்கி ரொம்ப வாழ்த்துறேன் உங்களை அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறேன்.
தேங்க்யூ ஜம்பு சார், தேங்க்யூ.
அது இல்லாமல் 2வது நீங்கள் மிச்சல் பாடியை காட்டினீங்க, அதில் லென்ஸ் ஒன்று இருந்துச்சு. அது நியூவால் கேமராவுடைய லென்ஸ். அது அந்த ஷார்ட் ஒரு இன்சர்ட் பண்ணி வச்சுருந்தீங்க. ஏன்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா அது நியூவால் கேமராவில் பாடியில் உள்ள லென்ஸ். அது நான் அதை பார்த்தேன். நீங்கள் எங்கெங்கே எடுத்துருப்பீங்கிறதுக்காக ஒரு உதாரணம் சொன்னேன், வேறு தப்பாக இல்லை. ஏன்னா மிச்சல்னு போட்டுனீங்க, அது நியூவால்.
He has cherished his memories by seeing this.
அதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பாராட்டுறோம் எல்லா சார்பிலுமே. ஏன்னா இது யாரும் கிடைக்காது, ஏன்னா மறைஞ்சிடும் எல்லாம். இப்போ நாங்கள்லாம் மறைஞ்சிட்டாலும் அவங்க மகானுடைய பெரிய ஆளுங்களுடைய இதை எடுத்துருக்கீங்க. அன்னைக்கும் பார்ப்பாங்க, அன்னைக்கும் பேசுவாங்க, இன்னைக்கும் பேசுவாங்க, நாளைக்கும் பேசுவாங்க, பேசிகிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. இது ஒரு லைப்ரரியில் வைக்க வேண்டிய ஒரு பொக்கிஷம். இதை ஒவ்வொன்றும் நம்ம மாதிரி ஒன்று கேசட் போட்டு கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா நாங்கள் வச்சுக்குவோம்.
தேங்க்யூ அண்ணா, தேங்க்யூ அண்ணா. எஸ் எஸ்.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I think when I thought of this idea of borrowing that Mitchell camera and testing Mr. Pereira's memory, for a moment my heart was in my mouth, because if he couldn't, it was 60 years since he'd operated Mitchell camera. I was actually, while shooting that sequence inside, I was dying. I said, if he can't remember what it is, it'll be bad for him, the fact that he's not being able to from tactile memory. But fortunately, he remembered. I didn't have to prompt him, I didn't have to help him. And another thing I just wanted to say, the funny thing is that this film got rejected by all the 25 film festivals that I entered into. All of them. National and international. International I can still accept, but national, like MIF, rejecting a film about people who have come to Bombay and made their lives professionally, seems ludicrous. But sometime last year when I got my last rejection letter from some foreign film festival, I felt quite bad. And then I realized that at the end of the day, what is the purpose of this film? The purpose of the film was to honor the people whom I respected, whom I knew. And if a 93-year-old visually challenged cinematographer to Lenny, he's a very well-known Steadicam operator in Bombay. So Lenny has taken a pair of speakers and a laptop and he's played the film for Mr. Pereira. When a 93-year-old visually challenged cinematographer calls you and says, "Thank you, Hemant, for the film," I think that is the only validation one needs in life for a project. And Lenny told me something very interesting. He said that a few years after the interview, after I'd done the interview in 2015, it affected him a little negatively because he realized he suddenly remembered his entire career. And the fact that no one comes to meet him, no one calls him, no one pays any attention to him today, he felt that he had been a failure as a human being.
For people who don't know.
Right. Yeah. So luckily, even I have people who are non-film people, non-Indian people also. Okay, friends who are American, Spanish, Portuguese, German, French, etc. They've all watched the film and come away with a human experience. See, beginning and end of a career is universal to every human being. And even without knowing the work or not knowing what they did, it's just their trajectory which appeals to most people.
Yeah.
The first screening happened at FTII for the three batches of students. And I remember making one very interesting point when the film ended. I said, it's very strange to be in a room full of students who have not even started their careers, watching a film about people whose careers have long since closed. And I said, sitting here, I'm sitting between these two extremes of emotion, that now this bunch of people is scared about their futures, while this bunch of people is completely confident of their lives.
I guess no one cracked the mystery of life. Only Govind Nihalmi has cracked that mystery. He said, whatever you do joyfully. That's it. And a few of them, they didn't know how they went up and how they go down and what to do with life. Only Govind Nihalji, he got that thing, how to live happily.
I like to enjoy my work.
Yeah. Whatever is given, it is given to me. I do whatever I do.
I like to be behind the camera wherever it is.
Wherever it is. Wherever there is a light, I'll be there. That's it. If a shooting is happening, I'll be there.
Now we would like to give a memento to our chief guest, Hemant Chaturvedi sir, for making a beautiful cinematographer's life. Nice. Yes.
Your film is a mirror, Hemant Bhai. That's a mirror. Now we have our life shown reflected in your thing. And I have a very short story about Sika. And the elder daughter, she got married and she found a space. She found a home close to his dad's place, and they were all living together. And then I asked her, after hearing all the stories, were you expecting me? Expecting us? Yeah, he always, tells us. Once I am gone, these guys from Sika, they will come and put a garland for me. I said, it's so, that was a shock for me, not all can talk about death. Only happy people can talk about death. The people who live their life can talk about death. And she said, yeah, when we started talking about that, long back, it was kind of weird, but later, we too understand that's how it is. Life, how this life is, like birth, death is one happening, that's it. So that is one kind of thing, I got remembered. It happened recently. So his name was Chiranjeevi, and I just remember him after seeing your things. But the thing is, he was happy. He was a happy man. He went happily.
There was no regrets. Whatever, I heard from them, I said they wasn't regretting about anything. No, he is not a regretting kind of guy. He was a happy guy, lucky guy. He lived his life. He had enough thing and he was happy to go. So I could see those things in those philosophical things with all the cinematographers. They all know, how they go up, how they go down, they manage. That's how life is. I especially like the Baba Asmi's thing. He has such a, humor makes us live through the life. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you, Hemant ji, and thank you, Ranga sir, Prasad sir, I worked with Prasad sir long time back. நான் சார்ட்ட வந்து ஏன்னா எனக்கு அப்போ தெரியாது. நான் சாரை வந்து இங்கே ஒரு சீக்கால பார்த்ததுக்கு அப்புறமா சார்கிட்ட கேட்டேன், சார் நீங்கள் வெரிடில்ல பூஜாரின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு படம், தெலுங்கு படம், அந்த படத்தில் வந்து நீங்கள் ஒரு நாள் கிளாஷுக்கு வந்தீங்க கரெக்டா அப்படின்னா, ஆமாம் அப்படின்னாரு. நான் ஒரு நாள் உங்களோட ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் சார், நான் பிஎஸ் பிரகாஷ் சார்ட்ட வந்து அப்போ ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன். பட் ஆமா, அதுக்கப்புறம் படமே நீங்க தான் பண்ணீங்க. I worked with his master for about a schedule. At that time I worked with him also. So thank you so much sir.
In my non-cinematography life, I have been documenting old cinema theatres. So I've driven about 45,000 kilometers plus in the last 5 years, and I've photographed approximately 1,100 old movie theatres. I have an exhibition of 44 photographs in Madras, in Chennai at the moment, which are at Nirav's restaurant, Basque, in Tenampet. Please come and see those pictures whenever you get a chance. He's not going to force you to buy food, but just come and see the pictures. It's a
discount on that.
You'll have to check with him. Check with Nirav. But there's some very nice photographs there, and it's quite a journey. So do please drop by at some point. Right.
Thank you all for the nice day and nice memories.